Okay, we are going to go through a walkthrough of graphing the graph itself and actually reading it and making a graph and how I do the color changes and all of that. This is a graph. Of course I did D because obviously that's me. For right-handed people, it starts over here in this corner and goes right to left. If you are left-handed, you would go the other way. You see there's a 1-to-1. First row, first column, first row. It would be on the other side if you are left-handed. For different kind of graphs like C to C, corner to corner, it's the same way. You would either still start in this corner and go up or start in this corner and go up. But we're just doing the basic one. So one block equals one stitch. And for me, I either do single or half double crochet. I don't do double because crochet already stretches out. Now, this is broken up by 5s in the rows and the columns. So those thicker black lines are 10s. So 10, 20, 30. If you ever find graphs randomly on the internet, you can break it up that way if they still have the numbers around. So the first 2 rows are just white or whatever background color you need. And then on the 3rd row, you have these 4 stitches. And then all of this is black. And then you end with 2 stitches. So I'm going to start it. I start almost all of my projects with a foundation row of stitches, either single or half. This is a graph, though, the image. Now, you will have written patterns, or if you are friends with Stitch Fiddle, there's also the option for color blocks, which is what I also use in combination with the progress tracker on there and the image itself. And also the patterns that I sell when I get customs, they have the option of just the graph, just the color block, just the written form, or, all 3. This is what it looks like. This is what text would look like the written pattern. It would just be this difference. But yeah, it still says the same thing. Row 1, 27 stitches. Row 2, same 27 stitches. Then on row 3 is when we start adding the different color. 4 white, 21 black, 2 white. When you get into more complicated ones, the color changes are a lot more. So let's go ahead and start just using some random weight 4 yarn. I'm gonna use a 5.5. So we're gonna start the foundation row and chain 2, and then go in, pull up a loop, pull through 1, and then pull through 2. That is 1 stitch. Go through, pull through 1, and then pull through 2. So this is starting the foundation single crochet instead of chaining and then going back, because I'm doing the first row now, which is the point of foundation rows. Okay, I finished my 27 single crochet foundation stitches. So chain 1, and then we go back and down the row. That will be our 2 rows, and then I'll come back when I'm on the 3rd one and we start the color changes. Okay, we're now on row 3, which is going to the left, which is our right side for right-handed people. And it's 4 white, 21 black, and 2 white. So let's get to that. Let's do our 4 white. 1, 2, 3, 3, and on the 4th one we do not complete it. Put it to the side and add the black and pull through and hold the white in place. And now we're going to do our 21 in black. And then that finishes the first black stitch and seals off the last white one. And our white yarn stays right here for when we come back and need the white for the next row. So we're going to continue until our last 2. Now I do hold the tail end at the beginning of adding a color just to seal it in a little bit, but I do also weave in my ends because it is good practice. Hold the last black one, we put it to the sides and add another white. Yarn over the hook and pull it through. And we finish our last 2 stitches for row 3. That's our row 3. Now for row 4, this will be the wrong side and be going left to right on the graph. Row 4 going this way. And if you're left-handed, you'll be going the opposite way. Now for when I'm doing multiple color changes, that begins to have a lot of bobbins, or just separate yarn balls. I just flip it, meaning this was how we added it. I'm flipping it this way to do row 4, and I'm going to flip it back this way so that the yarn stays in place and it doesn't get that tangled. It will get tangled at some point, but you can eliminate how much it gets tangled. So this is our row 4. We put the white down, pick the black back up because it was sitting there from the previous row. And so this is the end of our black. That's our last stitch. Keep it on the wrong side. Pull the white and up. Pull through and finish our last 3 stitches. Chain 1, move that to the side and flip it back over. So now all 3 of my yarns are still in place. Now comes row 5, which is right here, and then that's when we need to add more yarn balls to it. Row 5, we will have these 2 white, 5 black, 14 white, 4 black, and then 2 white. Now we already have 1 white, a black, and a white. So I'm gonna leave the white that's on here for this part. And then I'm gonna add another black. Just because this is only 5 stitches and it goes down to 3. And so that's how I calculate if I'm gonna carry a yarn or add another ball to it. I added it at the beginning because this was over. My limit is about 5. After 5 stitches, I'm just gonna add another ball. But that was more than I needed, so I added another one. 1 and 2. Put that to the side. And then 5 black. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I am going to do this. I'm going to cut it just to pull it forward to where I need it. Only because I don't mind sewing in the ends and it's okay with me. And I'm going to do my 14 white. Add our black back to this. I do 2 stitches. And on my third one, I'm pulling the white behind. I'm holding it behind and going over it. I'm pulling from that side along the back of the black. That way I can use it on this side. And then the last black one. And then my white is closer now from being over here. Finish off my black stitch. And then do my last 2 white. So I'm gonna pause here and then come back when I'm on row 8 and we have this center part. Okay, I've made it to row 8. This is the 7 rows up until this row, which is row 8. We'll be adding the center part of the deal. It is 2 white, 5 black, 3 white, 7 black, 5 white, 3 black, 2 white. So let's do it. We'll be adding our new black to the center. 2, pulling my white, 3, 4, 5. The white, 1, 2, 3. Adding a new black for 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pull up the white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 the white. 3 black. And the last 2 white for row 8. Alright, my row 9's done. Row 10, which is our longest color changing row, where that black line is. That's our 10th row. We will have 4 white, 3 black, 3 white, 2 black, 3 white, 4 black, 3 white, 3 black, 2 white. Ooh. Okay, so for this, I am going to use this black and then carry it for those rows. Carrying your yarn is very situational, depending on what you're making. I mostly make wall tapestries, and I use it for bags, which I line so you'll never see it, and I use it for clothing. Now for clothing, I do it just has to be more bobbins, because the carrying creates these loops in the back that, you know, if they get caught on something, you have like gems, nails, hangnails, anything, and it get caught and it breaks the yarn and it unravels, then that's an issue. And I know that like for larger items like blankets, which I've only made one of for a very good reason, yeah, you don't want to carry your yarn for that, unless you like don't care or you choose to line the blanket itself, which also fun and makes it, you know, less susceptible to like stretching out and being weird and thin looking. But if you're just sticking it on the wall, carry the yarn. It really doesn't matter. But just think about what you're using it for, and if you need to add another ball of color. Like, yes, it's more, but you know, quality. Let's do row 10. And then our 4 black. 2, 3, 4. 3 whites. 3 black. And the last 2 white. And that's 10 rows. I am gonna complete it and come back when I am done for any more notes and whatnot. Okay, now we are done with our little square. This is the back, and so you can see how it looks when you don't carry the yarn and when you do in a small spaces. So I carried, what was it? I think this side of the white. No, I carried this over this bar of black, this spot in between this and right here, and then this white just stayed on this side with just this black. So you see this is cleaner, but it all depends on what you're gonna do with the graph itself. And at the end I have, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and this will be 12 when I finish it, ends to this graph from having 5 separate balls of yarn. And I didn't have to cut and tie because no. But yeah, that is the end of it. Hopefully this helped. And if you do like a wall tapestry, you would just single crochet around the entire border. For single crochet things, you would just in each row. Half double crochet is slightly different, and if you choose to do the double crochet, obviously that's just 2 single crochets per row. But that is all. Thanks for watching. Bye.